Let me tell you a story. A 9-year-old boy sits in the back of a classroom, sketching a spaceship on the corner of his math worksheet. He's imagining what it would look like to live on Mars, how the engines might work, what kind of society humans would build when they start over. He's not being disruptive, he's not talking, he's not causing trouble. But the teacher walks over, snatches the pencil from his hand, and says, "Stop daydreaming. Focus. This is not the time for creativity." That boy goes home frustrated. And here's the strange part. He didn't hate math. He actually liked it. He hated being told how he had to think. And if you're honest, you've probably lived a version of this story too. We think schools help us learn, but too often, they teach us not to think. Somewhere between finger paint and freshman algebra, something happens. Curiosity flattens, risk-taking withers, and creative becomes a box to check, not a muscle to build. Schools don't kill creativity by accident. They call what they do discipline. I want to be blunt. Creativity isn't just about artists painting cool pictures. It's the ability to see new connections, to solve problems nobody expected, to imagine futures that don't yet exist. Economies, democracies, and personal lives all depend on people who can think differently. So, when our schools train humans to fit pre-made shapes, we aren't just harming art class, we're hobbling society. Let's start with the simple idea. Most modern schools were built on an industrial blueprint. Think factories, bells to signal start and stop, batch instruction, uniformity, roles. Teachers manage production. Students are the units. That model served a certain era. Mass literacy, punctuality, basic cognitive skills. But this design treats children as interchangeable parts. Creativity hates interchangeability. The factory approach rewards predictability. You can test for it, you can timetable it, you can standardize it. And once your performance metrics favor predictability, test scores, attendance, compliance, everything that doesn't fit those metrics becomes noise. Art, play, improvisation, safe failure, all the messier territorial behavior of creativity end up being priced out. Schools love the word discipline because it sounds noble, but discipline has two faces, the discipline of mastery and the discipline of conformity. The first is practice, feedback, and deliberate improvement. The second is obedience. Sit still, don't speak, do what you're told. Many classrooms conflate the two. Teachers are asked to maintain order in overcrowded rooms with insufficient resources. Administrators want consistent results. Parents want safety and grades. The result is rules that stifle experimentation. Don't color outside the lines. One right answer. Stay quiet unless called on. That's not discipline of craft. It's discipline as control. And it trains students to avoid risks rather than pursue novelty. Here's the mechanics. When you assess only a narrow range of skills, multiple choice knowledge, rote procedures, teachers start teaching to the test. Curricula shrink. Time for interdisciplinary projects, art, exploratory science, and open-ended questions gets cut. Testing isn't the villain on its own. Feedback and assessment matter. But when everything from funding to job evaluations is tied to narrow metrics, creativity becomes collateral damage. Teachers report pressure to prioritize tested subjects. Schools with less funding or higher stakes often incrementally strip arts and play because they're non-essential in test-driven worlds. Creativity and failure are inseparable. Trying new ideas means many of them won't work, but schools are often intolerant of visible failure. The grading system converts risk into consequences. Make a bold move and earn a B instead of an A. kids quickly learn to avoid the bold. Classroom culture matters here. Reward safe answers and kids will optimize for safety. Reward curiosity, risk-taking, iterative improvement, and you'll see a different set of behaviors. But culture requires permission from adults, and too often adults are incentivized to clamp down, not loosen up. Another killer: ability grouping and tracking. Put kids into advanced and remedial buckets early, and you create self-fulfilling prophecies. The implied message: some people are creative people, others are not. That's wrong. Creativity is cultivated through practice, cross-disciplinary exposure, and opportunities for experimentation. Look at what happens when budgets tighten. Art and music are typically the first to go. Why? Because they're easy to categorize as non-core. Meanwhile, everything becomes more test-focused. The result: kids spend more hours in drill, fewer hours in messy making. The long-term effects ripple beyond skills. Motivation, identity, and resilience suffer. There's a cultural loss too. We undervalue the arts as training for improvisation, pattern detection, and symbolic thinking, core components of creative cognition. Schools are ecosystems. Parents, policymakers, and culture all shape what happens inside classrooms. Parent pressure for results can push schools toward conformity. We have to broaden what parents see as valuable. Creativity, adaptability, and collaboration matter long term. Accountability is important, but so is what we measure. If funding and evaluation reward creativity, portfolios, longitudinal growth, project outcomes, schools will adapt. Give teachers time to plan, collaborate, and try new approaches without punitive evaluation tied to short-term metrics. We need a coalition. Educators, families, communities, and policymakers working to expand the definition of success. You can't teach everything. True, but we can teach modes of thinking. Schools don't need to make everyone an artist. They need to make everyone capable of imagination, problem finding, and innovation. Assessment is necessary for accountability. Also true. The trick is choosing accountability measures that capture the skills we actually want, not just short-term recall. Structure is important. Kids need discipline. Absolutely, but discipline that trains craft looks different from discipline that trains conformity. The former asks the students to practice and refine. The latter asks them only to comply. So here's the real question. Do we want schools that produce obedient workers for yesterday's economy, or curious makers for tomorrow's challenges? Calling it discipline doesn't make a control system noble. It makes it convenient. If you're angry about sterilized creativity, channel that energy. Volunteer, mentor, contact your school board, support arts programs, or build an after-school maker club. Systems change slowly, but people can change the immediate world around them. Teach a child to be obedient and you get a good soldier. Teach a child to imagine and you get a world changer. Which are we building?